Just as I find myself approaching the end of the Just as I find honeymoon period with my Galaxy Z Fold 3, where the flaws of the device begin to stand out against the obvious advantages, Samsung has refreshed their S lineup with the S22 family. We've got two of them here today, the S22 Plus and the Note 22. Excuse me.
I think you're going to be happy with that.
Trap now approaching. Trap now leaving the station. Stack
the S22 Ultra, which is, by all appearances, a spiritual successor to Samsung's old Note lineup that hasn't actually seen a new family member since the Note 20 Ultra 5G, which we've also got on hand today for comparison. So let's start, of course, with that. As something of a Note fanboy, if I was going to switch off of a foldable, I would probably end up with a Note, and from everything that I've seen so far, although that's very little, this appears to be a worthy and heavyweight successor to it. Wow, that is a flippin' heavy phone. Now, one of the reasons, actually a couple of the reasons that people on the interwebs are saying that they really feel like the S22 Ultra is less of an S and more of a Note is that the industrial design compared to the Note series is completely different. Instead of having a camera bump that is one large bump with multiple lenses embedded in it, the S22 Ultra has individual camera bumps with their own accent rings about them that I think looks absolutely fantastic. It's also less rounded off in the corners, which is less comfortable for sure in the palm. Like I can tell already holding the S22 Plus that I'm gonna be less likely to get like a little divot buried into my palm here, though the edges are a little bit on the sharp side compared to the S22 Ultra, but that gives them more internal space for, of course, the other big difference between the Note series and the S series traditionally, the embedded S Pen. Now, I've seen some complaints about the relatively boring design of the S Pen this time around. Oh no, it's just matte black compared to some of the cool looking ones I've done in the past. I'm gonna say, as someone who used a Note for so long and absolutely loved the S Pen when I was using it, I don't care what it looks like. If I've got an S Pen, I'm absolutely gonna be doing things with it. It does everything from allowing you to take quick notes while the screen is still off, to using it as a camera shutter, which I actually used more often than you might think, and on this particular camera is gonna be a whopping 40 megapixels. Oh, that's cute. I can already see their automatic fake bokeh being added here. Obviously not right now, because I'm recording a video to mask a cut that we had to make there. But that's one of the areas that the new Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 SoC that's in the S22 series is dramatically faster than its predecessors. Image processing, where it can handle sustained 720p 960 FPS recording, among other things, as well as significantly improved machine learning performance, where they are claiming that with their new AI-assisted fake bokeh mode, so let's find, here we go, portrait mode, they can actually even handle like flyaways. So, I don't know, do I have enough flyaways that we can try this on me? How am I looking here, ladies and gentlemen? I actually use this feature all the time, because even if you're not using a fold, which conveniently does allow you to preview your selfie pictures on the main camera with the outside screen, as long as you can kind of aim at yourself, you can get way better selfies on a rear proper camera than you will even with a 40 megapixel front camera. Let's check going through that tiny little hole there. It's definitely losing some of the detail in some of those little wispy hairs, but not bad, look at that. It even got the neck hairs. Other main benefits of the stylus are the ability to pop up this little menu to quickly create GIFs or get screenshots or write on screen capture so that you can jot notes down and send them off to people. These are things that I have really missed about the Note and could actually tempt me to return it. Another cool thing about the S Pen this time around is apparently the latency, even compared to the last gen, has been dramatically reduced using a combination of AI and then technology that they've integrated from Wacom.
Wacom.
So I'm gonna go ahead and, I don't know, whatever, let's just write on the screen. Yeah, it's like a scritchy.
Oh, yeah, that's in the secret?
Yeah, it's cheesy, but I don't mind it. In terms of the feel, I wouldn't say that it's markedly different from my experience with previous S Pens, but in terms of the latency, wow. It feels less like writing with a stylus and more like just drawing on your screen. Like, that's pretty cool. Back to the cameras for a second. On the Ultra version, we've got a total of 5 lenses here, including a main shooter that's 108 megapixels this time around, a 12 megapixel ultra wide, 10 megapixel telephoto, another 10 megapixel telephoto with a 10 times optical zoom, as well as a depth sensor. On the 22 and 22 Plus versions of the phone, you get a 50 megapixel main shooter, along with 12 megapixel ultra wide and 10 megapixel telephoto, but just the one telephoto lens. And both of those, at least
you are clear to launch.
quantum drive deactivated. Landing gear deployed.